Starting a game is not all that hard, but you know what is? Actually releasing it. Hi, I'm Levin and I'm making a split-screen FPS called Couch Combat in the Unity game engine. In this devlog, I will be adding a new gun and stage to my game, but more importantly, I'm going to go over just how I plan to actually get my game finished and released. Last devlog, I had just released a new update for the game, and it was a really big one. New weapons, features, and completely redesigned stages. It's still the update available on itch.io if you download the game now, but I hope to get a new update out in a week or so with some more improvements. Also, be sure to subscribe if you want to. On to the video. This devlog mostly just takes place over 1 week because I was busy spending the other week making an Attack on Titan fan game and a poorly made meme to accompany it. But I wasn't completely useless during this time, as I was sort of writing down some bugs that I needed to fix from playtesting. So to start off, on Thursday the 18th, I did some bug fixing. Some of these bugs that needed fixing were fairly obvious, like the fact that you could still punch after dying. A simple if statement fixed that one. The next one was a bit more tricky, like practically half of the pickups fall through the ground in the stage, so I just want to try to make it do that a little bit less. And I really am not sure if this properly fixed the issue, but I just replaced the old mesh colliders with new box colliders. The pickups only collide with the ground, so there really wasn't any good reason for the colliders to be super precise. I mentioned that I plan for Couch Combat to be a commercial game, but as a note, the entire game is available for free on itch.io. So something is gonna have to change if I plan on making money, right? Well, don't worry, I don't plan on taking features out or making the itch.io version cost money anytime soon. But the reason that the whole game is currently available is simply because there has not been a lot of the game available content-wise in the past. But starting fairly soon, I'm going to start not adding some of the things I'm making the devlog to the itch.io demo. But I want to be as open and straightforward with this whole demo thing as possible. So this is what I plan on including and excluding in the demo, and why. The burst rifle is going to pretty likely be the final weapon added to the demo, as I think that 6 weapons is plenty for the demo. I'm going to add one more throwable to the demo, as just having one is pretty limiting. Stages wise, I'm thinking of having 5 Oriental stages available. So one more than I have now, and then 1 stage from each area after Oriental to sort of sample them. If I add an online multiplayer, which I think I will, it will not be in the demo, though this is partially because online multiplayer will definitely be one of the last things to develop before the commercial release. The only game mode available in the demo will be the current sole game mode of Arcade, though more options like maybe a set number of rounds might happen. Though I'm trying to have the demos be sort of a sample of the game, I want it to have at least a little bit of content in just about every single category, but it'll hopefully be a decent amount less than the final game. I hope you understand why I'm doing this, and I'm happy to discuss anything about this demo in the comments. Back to current development, the burst rifle was next on my list. I've been wanting a burst rifle in the game for a while, so I decided to just make it the next gun. I found some futuristic assault rifle concept art online and began 3D modeling the gun. Actually making the model took quite a bit longer than usual for me, and I think it turned out pretty detailed and nice looking. It might need a little bit more work, but still. I rigged it and began animating. The animations are largely based off the Hemlock from Apex Legends and Titanfall 2. I like how the reload animation turned out, and it's finally time for Couch Combat's very first mag slap. That was the next step on our gun abuse journey. In order to implement the gun, I need to make a new system to the gun script. Though I have the ability to shoot multiple bullets at once, I need to be able to add weights in between and individual sounds for the burst. At first I thought that I would just add these features to the already made bullet count system. But this didn't really work out for me, and besides, if I did it this way, I could never have burst shotguns. Which I mean, I guess I can make with a new system, so that's something. The new system repeats the shooting strips and puts some weights in between. At first those weights were through a coroutine using wait for seconds, but that doesn't really work for periods of time less than a second. So I just used a fixed update countdown. Importing the gun was a pain as usual, but I've kinda gotten used to it. I had to set up animation controllers, move it around, and change values until it felt good. Colors also took quite a while to get right, but I think the gun turned out nicely. I feel like the shooting could use a bit more recoil, and I think I need to make the finger actually reach the trigger in the animation. But other than that, it's good. I've started mini games in the past without finishing them. The obvious example is my previous devlog series, Project Astro. But I've had several before that didn't get nearly as far, like another local multiplayer game that was about fighting over hamburgers, and an Undertale ripoff that never had any real development, but did have an entire notebook worth of planning before I realized that it was really bad, and an Undertale ripoff. But back on track, making sure this game gets finished has been on my mind since I began. The most important step, in my opinion, in doing this was just setting up the game's premise with a simple and obtainable plan in mind. The core gameplay loop for couch combat was already designed before even the first devlog, so I've had a good thing to reach for the entire time. Another thing that I'm trying to do to combat scope creep and keep the game on track is participating in lots of game jams. Now, I try to spend the majority of the time working on couch combat, but once every month or so, I'm trying to spend like just 2 days or so exploring an idea in a game jam, and I've already made one big boss fight in the Attack on Titan fan game with this in mind, and though they both take some time, I think that they were very worthwhile and fun to make. I decided to make a 4th stage, and I used the most professional software that planned it out, Microsoft Paint. I decided that this stage needed a new set piece, a cave. I put the stage together in Pro Builder, and then it was time to model. After making the majority of the stage using the same methods that I have in the past, I decided to make the cave. After looking around online, I found a cool method for making it. I placed down a ton of tall boxes and combined them all together and used a tool called Remesh to sort of connect them. Then I decimated it until it looked low poly again. After that, I used a bool modifier to make a hole in the shape of a rock for the cave mouth. Then it was time for a ton of cleanup. This took way longer than everything else. I deleted any loose or internal geometry for the cave. And the way I did internal geometry was just literally turning rendering onto shaded mode, and then selecting every single face I could see. Then inverting my selection and deleting all the other stuff. It worked out pretty well. But on importing everything into Unity, I realized that the majority of the faces weren't rendering. After a bit of looking around, I found out that the UVs were messed up, so I fixed them. These were mostly automatically a few functions, but I had to go and manually fix some of them faces. But realizing that UVs were the issue with my models was a great discovery because for some reason I thought it was always intercepting polygons or something. So now I know if I have a few missing faces that I can just flip the UVs. I finished up by adding grass to the stage and then adding birch trees. I just reused the tree models from the forest but changed their colors to make them birchy. And added the leaf particles because those are pretty sick. I still want to add a wind shader to the tree, but I haven't found any good ones that I like yet. But the stage was pretty much complete at this point. There are tons of great and not so great games released every single day on Steam. So I have to be able to make my game stand out if I want anybody to buy it. So I have to have a plan to do that. The first step should be really obvious to you because you are currently watching it. I am making devlogs. While I really do enjoy making YouTube videos, they are also supposed to help market this game and build a bit of a community for it before it even releases. And also just having a free version of this game on itch.io can help. After all, Ravenfield basically completely built its fan base on having a game which you can get for free and run on literally everything, mostly school computers. Other than that, I'm thinking of just adding a replay feature that lets you share some of the goofy moments that happen in game quickly. Maybe just a button you can hit at the end of the round that saves a video which you can then share. And I think this could give me some free marketing, possibly if I do it right. I think I did a good job of establishing a niche for the game though, which was the split-screen multiplayer market on PC. I don't talk about marketing though, what about when and how I want to release it. First off, I don't plan on releasing it in early access. Though I want to add more to the game after its initial release, I don't plan on releasing it until it's got a decent amount of content and polish and options. And if I can, I want to release it on itch.io and Steam at the same time because itch.io is really cool and likes featuring games like mine on its friends page, which should be pretty helpful. No idea about releasing on console, but I might. And the mobile version is a bit weird, but I mean, the game might actually work pretty well for a LAN party game like that you can play with groups, and it's pretty non-demanding, so maybe I'll do it. But this is all really out there stuff, so what's to come in the next few devlogs? Well, I have 3 major goals over the next few months. First, I want to have a complete menu overhaul. This mostly just means the main menu, but the settings menu needs a bit of work too, and a customization menu would be nice too. Secondly, I want to add game customization. The basics of this just mean being able to pick what stages you play on and what weapon spawns, but also having things like a set number of rounds and handicaps would be nice too. Another cool customization feature I want to add is something like Special Smash and Super Smash Bros, where you can alter all sorts of options, so things like movement speed, or maybe even the option for more movement abilities like double jumps or wall running, just really letting you control the experience and play the game however you want. And being able to make presets for these options like Smash Ultimate is a goal too. The third and final goal for the next few months is the most important: more content. I want to finish the Oriental area, make more guns, and begin work on another area, which will probably be the Cyberpunk area. But yeah, that's it. I hope you like this different style of devlog. The next few will probably be closer to the normal format, but this sort of planning is an important part of making a game, and I think I'll try to cover it at least some in the future. Thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe, bye.